Hey, what's up, guys? It's Cloud. I have another battle for you. This one I picked up on the Smogon Wi-Fi Finder. It's a UU battle. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch the guy's name. He ended up disconnecting the chat right as the battle started and ended up quitting the match right after. So I couldn't really catch anything. But he did. It was a good battle. I know his trainer name on the game was Chris. So if he sees this, Chris, I'm sorry I didn't get your name and give you the proper credit on here. But hope you guys like that little intro video. I'm just starting to get my software back up, getting my laptop back. So hopefully I'll be able to bring you better quality stuff later. And also hope you like the layout and it works good. But you guys ready? Here we go for the battle. Looking at the quick team preview, you're also going to see it on the sides. But he leads with, looks like he's going to lead with his Roserade. And he's also got, you know, that close to that fire water grass core, except he has no grass, but he also carries that Bisharp, so I got to beware of that sucker punch, and hopefully we get started here soon. And here we go. Oh, you can see me in the background. Alright, I am challenged by Chris. So I was predicting right. He leads with his Roserade, and you guys kind of saw in the last battle I like to lead with my Azelf. This is a different Azelf than last time, and I see that he's got a Roserade. I was hoping to get him out before he got any hazards up, so I go with the Fire Blast, and it almost takes him down. I thought it was there, couldn't really see it that well, but then I see he has a Focus Sash, and I was pissed off, and I knew he was going to get up some Toxic Spikes right here, which I'll just have to deal with. So then I decide, you know what, I'm going to just try to set up my rocks real quick and get out of there, and I set up my rocks. Excuse me. And what does he do? And then he goes for the Sleep Powder, and it hits and puts me right to sleep. At this point, Azelf's pretty much done most that he can do, in my opinion, at this point, so I just leave him in there hoping he's going to wake up and get me off of Fire Blast or anything just to take this Roserade out, but he doesn't wake up, and he goes for the Giga Drain, and it takes a crap ton from Azelf, but yeah, Azelf's kind of not very bulky at all, so I kind of figured it would take a lot, and I still don't wake up at this point. So, and then he just uses like the little slap in the face and says, hey, here's a Sludge Bomb right to the face of Azelf, and that's the end of my Azelf. So I decided to go into my Chandelure, nicknamed Hecate, as you guys saw in the intro video, and so I get poisoned, and I know he has the Arcanine, but I didn't want to overpredict him having like Flash Fire or anything, so I just went for the Fire Blast. And he sends in his Arcanine, and I go for the Fire Blast. Oh, he takes some good rock damage. Go for the Fire Blast, and of course he has Flash Fire, so that prevents me from using any Fire type moves. I know he's probably just going to try to have this physical type Arcanine come at me, and he's fast, so he uses the Wild Charge, knowing that there is fire and it's not going to do the greatest amount of damage to me, and he gets a pretty good chunk off, and I just decided to go for a safe Shadow Ball, and it hits, and look at that. I thought I got him here, but apparently just wasn't enough, and then so I decided at this point I'm not going to be able to live another one of those Wild Charges, even though it would also take out his Arcanine, so I switch out. And he decides to switch out at the same time and send in his Bisharp. And who did I send in? I don't quite remember. This was like a week and a half ago. I send in my my Raikou, nicknamed Jupiter, the God of Thunder, and gets poisoned and the pressure, which was helpful. And I just wanted to go for this. I think I just wanted to go for the sub here. Yeah, I used the sub, and hoping that he is just like going to use Sucker Punch and try to get me out of there, but he goes for the sub as well. So I figured he's probably similar to the Bisharp I drew up, which is a sub dance Bisharp. So I decided here that I was going to go for a Calm Mind, just try to set up a little bit real quick, hoping that he's going to sit behind that sub and Sucker Punch, but he didn't, so I get one Calm Mind up, which is good. It's a it's a good start. And then this was my fault. I should have just went to break the sub, but he goes for the Swords Dance. And so now he's +2 attack. And I think at this point, I decided to, you know what, I'm just going to have to really break that sub, forget setting up. I don't want his Bisharp getting to be ridiculous and sucker punch the crap out of me. So I get hurt by the poison again, which sucks. But he goes for the sucker punch. I think he had the same idea. Let's break those subs and just get to back to it. He uses the Dark Gem, which is actually pretty helpful. So now it's not going to actually hurt one of my guys. It just takes out my sub. And I went for the Thunderbolt as well to take out his sub. And it hits. And there goes his sub. Well, it's going to go right now. Sorry, I spoke a little too soon. But there goes his sub. And I think we both I just decided to attack again. I know I'm already wasting down on his PP with pressure, so I should have just probably went for a Calm Mind or a Substitute again. But, hey, in hindsight, that would have been better. But I just decided to try to go for the Thunderbolt, hoping he would try to get something else up. And he uses Sucker Punch. And that's pretty much the end of Raikou. So, kind of wasted him there, but didn't know what else I can do at that point. So, at this point, I send in my Porygon 2. Which, by the way, as you noticed, is slowly climbing up my list of favorite Pokemon to have. Also, one of the cooler looking ones. I have no stall moves on this one, so he's going to hit me with the Sucker Punch, but Porygon 2 is very bulky. I do have the Evilite on him, but it does take about 200 off of his health, or my health, I mean, and I just go for the Tri-Attack, you know, figuring since I got the special attack boost, maybe I can get something going, but it doesn't quite take him out. And so now his PP is down by 5 for that Sucker Punch. So I figured, you know what, I'll switch out again, maybe get him to waste another Sucker Punch. And I send in Cordelia, which is my Melodic, and shiny Melodic at that because I just think they're super cool looking. And another bulky type that I run on this team, it's more of a, it's the Recover type. So he went for the Sucker Punch, so he's down 6 PP on that Sucker Punch. So I figured it's only a matter of time. If I could stall it out a little bit more, he won't have much to do. So I don't know why he did this, but maybe he was out of PP. But he went for another Swords Dance, and I went for the safe Stab Scald just because I knew I'm in good enough range to take him out at that point. And there ends that threat of Bisharp. So looking pretty decent right here. Hoping things are going to keep going well. But that poison is going to be a hindrance, and it's going to poison most of my guys the more I bring them in. And he sends in his Blastoise to get out the rocks, most likely, figuring it's a Rapid Spinner. It's one of the best Rapid Spinners in the tier. So I was hopefully going to outspeed him and use the Dragon Tail and switch something in to get some rock damage, but it doesn't work. He gets off this Rapid Spin first and spins it out. I was actually hoping to get that Arcanine in there, so I didn't have to deal with him anymore. And I got the Dragon Tail, and oh look, Arcanine switches in, but it was a little late at that point because the rocks were already gone. And I know he has Wild Charge. I know I could have switched out, but I knew I could take the Wild Charge and the recoil would take him out. So I just decided to leave Melodic in there. And he does go for the Wild Charge. And look at it go. As fast as it was going, I thought she was going to go down. But she stops at 112. And the recoil damage is enough to remove his Arcanine from this battle. So I went to, don't ask me why I went for a Dragon Tail again. I could have just went for something like Scald, and in case he didn't go for it, because Dragon Tail would have just switched him out. But I wasn't quite thinking. I was just hoping that he would go for the Wild Charge and be taken out. At this point, he sends his Roserade back in. I could have switched out Melodic, but I have the Ice Beam. I run the Ice Beam on her, so I was hoping he would go for like the Sleep Powder and Mist or something, or put up his second layer of spikes to get me even more poison, but he goes for the Giga Drain, takes out my Melodic, gets some health back, and at this point is where the match started to turn in my favor. I send in my Bisharp, and as you can see by the title, Bisharp goes Beast Mode in this match. I just went for the Sucker Punch, just hoping he would go for the Giga Drain again, but he went for the Sleep Powder and misses. So at this point, he goes for the Sleep Powder again. He hits it, So there goes my strategy. I was going to see if he switched out, but I was going for the sub. And now at this point, I was hoping he would just, kind of stay in there and wish to Giga Drain me away. But he withdrew him, which gave me a free turn, as it turns out, because I still went for the sub anyways, hoping I would wake up. And I woke up and, got my substitute out. And now I was going to start using my Swords Dance to get that attack up to take out the rest of his guys, because I'm not going to try to waste my Sucker Punch. So I used the leftovers, blah, blah. He withdraws Flagon here. I don't know why he didn't just go to break my sub. He goes into his Yanmega, which has the speed boost ability, which is going to be a pain in the butt, you would think. But I get the first Swords Dance up, and I figured my sub's not broken yet at this point. So, I was hoping here. My sub's not broken. And so I decide to go for another Swords Dance as he goes for the Hidden Power, which I don't know what type it was. It was either Fire or Fighting, because it is super effective against my Bisharp, and it breaks the sub, of course. But I went for the second Swords Dance, so now I'll be +4 attack. I see that his Yanmega's Life Orb, so I know it's not choiced or anything like that to outspeed me, even though he does have the speed boost. But here he goes with that speed boost, so I know my only chance at this point to save this is to go for a Sucker Punch and hope it takes him out. It should, though, because it's +4 and it's Bisharp, and it's a priority move and quite powerful. So I use the Sucker Punch, and you can just watch that HP whittle down, and it's still going, and still going. And it's a KO for the Sucker Punch. So he gets the health back from the leftovers, so I could look maybe to set up another sub again. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. He goes for the Roserade again. I figure he's going to try to put me to sleep and just Giga Drain it away. So I decide, you know what, I'll go for a sub again. I don't want to waste any PP on my Sucker Punch. And get the sub up. So now I can set up that last Swords Dance to go up +6. And looking pretty good at this point. He withdraws Roserade again, figuring he couldn't get me to sleep. He sends out his Blastoise, and I use my Swords Dance. So here's +6. It's awesome. Looking to put this thing away now with my Bisharp. Sorry guys, it's been a long night studying for tests and stuff. And I can't quite remember all of this. This was last week, again, when I had midterms and didn't bother to study and instead played Pokemon. But I did end up getting good grades on them, if you guys are concerned. I go for the Iron Head here, not wanting to waste a Sucker Punch. And it does really good damage, even though it's not very effective, and I attribute that to Stab and the +6. He goes for Dragon Tail. I think he hoped to switch me out and break the sub, but it's not going to be enough power to break that sub, because it's not very effective against a Steel type. So I'm still in this, and I don't want to waste any more Sucker Punches, like I said, just in case, because I know he still has that Flygon out there. And so I just go for the Iron Head again, but he uses Protect. So I think he figured I would go for the Sucker Punch, fearing another thing to break my sub, but I just go for the Iron Head, and it's protected. And at this point, I am going to just keep using the Iron Head. I see it does so much damage. I have so much PP on it. Want to keep those priority attacks for things later. So I go for the Iron Head again. And you're going to see that Blastoise faint. He's going down. Way down. So there's the end of his Blastoise. And I think all he has left is his Flygon and his Roserade at this point. So, yeah, full health again, which is nice. He goes for the Flygon. If I didn't have the sub up, I'd be a little more concerned, but I go for the Sucker Punch, because I know even if it doesn't one-hit KO him, that I'll be able to live through the next attack and then also hit him on the next one with another Sucker Punch, but it is a one-hit KO with that Sucker Punch. So there goes the Flygon. He sends back in his Roserade, his last Pokemon, and he resigns from the match. But overall, good battle. Way to get back into the competitive battling on Smogon. I got a couple more for you that I'm going to be trying to get up soon, and I'm also working on getting up the quality of the videos. yeah, so have a good one, guys. Take care.